Hi, as promised, I'm back with responses to your questions. I am speaking from my home office in the beautiful state of Goa, India.
Do you feel you and your organization are making a positive change with the local people with regards to eating cats and dogs?
Absolutely, yes. Uh, if you look at the recent trends, the consumption of dogs and cat meat in countries like Vietnam have significantly gone down over the past decade. Also, in countries where the consumption of dog meat is illegal but was still happening in an underground manner, has also significantly decreased. When we talk about local people, there are two segments: the people who indulge in this practice, and there are people who are opposed to this practice. And our work has been working with both the segments, with the support of people who don't want this to happen in their countries. We are carrying out several campaigns and tightening the noose around the people who are still indulging in this activity.
What is the change in Vietnam now regarding the dog and cat meat trade? Any progress towards finally banning it?
COVID was, it was a watershed moment for the dog and cat meat trade where it significantly dropped. But since the restrictions were lifted, it was normalizing, and that is when we relaunched a fresh campaign in Vietnam. We very soon realized that the only way to find a long-term, sustainable, and meaningful end to this trade was to work with the government and not against it. On the 4th of July of 2023, there was a significant development. Soy Dog Foundation hosted a roundtable along with its strategic partners in Vietnam, Intelligent Media, a roundtable at the National Assembly, which is the highest constitutional body of the government of Vietnam, and the topic for discussion was dog and cat meat, the way forward. It was very well attended. There was a lot of media attention on it, and I'm very proud and happy to tell you that as a result of this roundtable, there was a general consensus by all of these important people that it was time that Vietnam had to create a roadmap to ending the dog and cat meat consumption in the country, keeping in view their tagline, which is they want to show Vietnam as a modern, civilized country. They're working on a host of programs with different ministries, readying a revision of the capital law, revising the penalties, and basically creating a roadmap. The plan is to first make Hanoi, which is the hotspot for dog and cat meat consumption and trade across Vietnam, go dog and cat meat free soon, which will then be followed by a nationwide ban.
How hard is it to rehabilitate dogs and cats rescued from the trade?
It is extremely hard. If I still say that for dogs it's very hard, for cats it's even harder. The cruelty and the suffering that they endure at multiple levels, right from the moment they are snatched away, either from their loving homes or from the streets where they live, and the entire journey at multiple pit stops, being transported hundreds of kilometers away, sometimes for hours, before being killed in plain sight of each other, using the most crude and cruel ways possible. Imagine just being rescued before you're slaughtered, but still having endured every possible pain, agony, and depressive thought ever. To win back their trust and their forgiveness is not easy. It takes a lot medically, but more than medically, we have to be very careful of the homes that these animals eventually go to, as they might require a lot of emotional support, and the healing takes a long time.
Why is it so hard to put an end to this trade?
These are long-standing cultural, traditional, and sometimes superstitious beliefs which have survived for hundreds of years. It has become a part of the belief structure of certain societies and cultures. Imagine an outsider going and telling them what you've been doing for hundreds of years is not right. It's not seen very kindly. It's seen as, they go into defensive mode, that it's a war against their own ideology. So we have to keep many things in consideration while gently creating choices for them, of making better choices, bringing them up to date with the changes that have happened globally, and the fact that dogs and cats are the world's most loved animals and not seen as meat, and then creating laws around it. The new generation is on its way of completely not being a part of this, but there is still a significant number of people who are still indulging in this behavior of consuming dogs and cats for various beliefs, and that is hard, but it is not impossible to break that cycle.
How can we, the audience, support you in making a real difference? We donate and sign the petitions, but how does this contribute to the efforts? What I would like to understand better is the process involved in making these changes happen in each country.
Without you, the wonderful supporters, I would not be sitting here answering your questions. Soy Dog would not have effective campaigns and successes and failures in its journey and its fight towards ending dog and cat meat trade. In countries where we can use the pressure generated by wonderful supporters like you who take the time to sign, read, and sign a petition, we use it. For example, we are going to submit 1 million signatures to the government of Philippines this October in strengthening the laws against dog meat consumption. Philippines has legally banned dog meat consumption several years ago, but an underground trade exists, and our fight out there is enforcement. And without your 1 million signatures, we can't make this happen. There are resources that are expended. There are people that need to be hired. There are capital laws that need to be revised. There are intellectuals and academics that need to be used and hired and paid to survey, to research and create papers, and create the kind of public opinion that is required. Press conferences need to be held, trainings need to be provided. All of this is resource efficient. To answer your question about how this works, there is no one advocacy rule that applies to every country. China and Vietnam are communist countries. They don't take to creating public pressure very well or global pressure very well. However, other countries which are dependent on tourism, like Thailand, it worked extremely well. South Korea, it's working really well. Indonesia is working really well. I can't really explain in this session of each step of how the program really works, but make no mistake about it that every single donation and every single signature that you put on the petition builds the momentum and helps people like me and my team to make this happen on the ground. Thank you.